Hello, and a very warm welcome to you from Vista Higher Learning, your specialized language publisher. At Vista Higher Learning, all we do is languages. We are passionate about the work of highest quality materials. We are not a language arts or a science or a social studies publisher. All we do are languages. While many other publishers develop world language materials, they also publish many other subjects. At the same time, we're not only singularly focused on one language, but on many languages, which provides us the necessary resources to provide you with high quality content, technology, and teacher resources specifically for language learning. Let's take a look at Perspectivas. Perspectivas is an exciting intermediate Spanish program designed to provide you with an active and rewarding learning experience as students continue to strengthen their language skills and develop intercultural skills. Perspectivas is perfect for heritage speakers, native speakers, as well as second language learners. Let's take a look at how this program is set up. Here you can see it is comprised of 10 lessons. Let's take a quick look. Each lesson is comprised of the different sections you see on the screen. Así lo decimos is an audio of the vocabulary with recording activities for oral practice. Each lesson has a documental, or a documentary. It's a streaming video of a short documentary with many options for subtitles, pre and post viewing activities. The next section is Estructuras y Manual de Gramática. Each lesson is comprised of 4 to 5 different grammar points. There are textbook grammar presentations, animated grammar tutorials, plenty of practice, and partner chat activities for increased oral practice. Next, we have Enfoque. There are 4 geographically focused Enfoque cultural paragraphs, textbook and extra practice activities, as well as virtual chats for increased oral practice. The Escuchar section contains audio files for listening activities, as well as additional activities for extra practice. Each lesson contains artículos, which are audio-synced readings of both texts, textbook and extra practice activities, as well as streaming integrated artículo video clips. Next, we have literatura. These are audio-synced readings of authentic literary texts, accompanied by textbook and extra practice activities. Finally, escribir is the last section of each lesson. This contains writing activities with a composition, engine, as well as extra practice activities. Let's take a look at one of the lessons. Each lesson begins with a lesson opener. The first 2 pages introduce you to the lesson theme, dynamic photos, and a brief description of the theme's short documentary, cultural topics, and literature serve as the springboard for class discussion. The objectives at the beginning of each lesson preview the goals toward which each student will work throughout the lesson. The first through third objectives target interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational communication, respectively, whereas the fourth and fifth target intercultural communication. In Así lo decimos, you'll find the vocabulary spread. Easy to study contextualized lists present culturally relevant vocabulary. The photos and illustrations are dynamic, full-color photos, and art illustrate cultural themes. The Practica activities practice vocabulary, comprehension, and provide opportunities for self-reflection and intercultural analysis. The textbook is fully integrated with the super site, so if I click here, for example, this will open up a virtual chat for me. Here, I'll get to speak with a virtual partner and turn the recording in to my teacher for evaluation. You'll notice I'll be able to click on vocabulary tools straight from the textbook, and this will take me into some interactive vocabulary words that I can see the lists for. I can print that out, and I can also do flashcards here.
Aguantar.
Each lesson includes a short documentary. These compelling short documentaries from a variety of Spanish-speaking countries and regions let students hear Spanish in authentic and culturally relevant contexts. The video stills with captions from the documentary prepare students for the film and introduce some of the expressions they will encounter. Notice all of the different activities for students. Again, these are all clickable and open up the activities right on the super site. Here I have my video.
No, nos casamos, yo me casé súper chico, me casé como a los 24 años, 23 años por ahí. Y no duré mucho casado tampoco.
En ese momento hay gente que te apoya mucho, pero hay gente que...
Let's take a look at the estructuras. The estructuras present intermediate grammar topics with the documentary video integration and other visual supports. Photos with captions from the lesson short documentary show the new grammar structure in cultural and thematic contexts. Explanations are easy to understand. Comprehensible charts, diagrams, and model sentences highlight grammar and thematic vocabulary. Sidebars expand on the cultural grammar point and call attention to possible sources of confusion. Sidebars reference related grammar points presented actively in estructuras and refer you to the supplemental Manual de Gramática found at the end of the book. Sidebars provide opportunities to use Spanish to reflect on the nature of language through comparisons with the student's own culture. By clicking on the presentation, I can open up a grammar tutorial and get some additional practice.
¡Ay, qué historia tan maravillosa! Me encantan los finales felices. But I also love happy beginnings. So I'll pull myself together and begin our lesson. Previously, you learned about the subjunctive, how to form it, and how to use it in noun clauses. ¿Te acuerdas? But
the tutorials also have checkpoints throughout to ensure student comprehension.
No hay nadie que quiera alojarse en el albergue.
¿entiendes hasta ahora? Let's practice and see if you do.
Here we go. Great. Great. Oh, gotta try again. Let's now take a look at Enfoque. Enfoque provides insight into the cultural products and practices of a different region of the Spanish-speaking world, including the United States. There are 4 dynamic paragraphs that draw the student's attention to culturally significant practices and products of the country or region of focus. Perspectivas actively encourages students to investigate, explain, and reflect on the culture at hand. In the geography section, a map of the Spanish-speaking country or region highlights additional cultural products and practices in relation to its major geographical features. There are also additional virtual chats and partner chats for student speaking practice. Let's take a look at the Escuchar section. Escuchar features a variety of authentic audio materials from radio shows to podcasts. There'll always be an estrategia that helps students to process the audio and focus on the key content. There are pre-listening, listening activities that activate background knowledge and provide opportunities for self-reflection and cultural analysis. Let's take a quick listen.
Muy bien, estamos de regreso, estamos con Horacio Guzmán, estamos platicando sobre la importancia de la familia en nuestros días. ¿Qué beneficios nos trae todavía hasta hoy día el vivir en grupo, en equipo, en un lugar donde es un ambiente?
Students can control the speed of the audios. Let's now take a look at the artículo section. The artículo features 2 readings. The first artículo reading is an authentic article written by a native speaker of Spanish for native speakers of Spanish. Readings are carefully laid out with line numbers, marginal glosses, and pull quotes to help make each piece easy to navigate. Photos are vibrant, dynamic, and they illustrate the reading.
Estos chicos representaban lo mejor de Argentina. Brian Winter. Yo era prácticamente un niño. Tenía 22 años cuando me mudé a Argentina en el año 2000 con la loca idea de convertirme en periodista.
Following each artículo, students will be presented with preparación y análisis. Preparación, vocabulary presentation and practice, author biographies, and pre-reading discussion activities prepare students for the first artículo. The análisis are post-reading activities that check for understanding and guide students to discuss the topic of the first reading through intercultural reflection. Literatura showcases authentic literary texts by notable writers from across the Spanish-speaking world. They're comprehensible and compelling. These readings present new avenues for using the lesson's grammar and vocabulary for intercultural reflection. Each reading is presented in the attention-grabbing visual style you would expect from a magazine, along with line numbers, marginal glosses, and pull quotes. Preparación and analysis activities provide in-depth pre- and post-reading support for each of the selections in the literatura. And finally, we get to the end of the lesson with exercises in escribir and vocabulario. Escribir focuses on writing strategies and the process of writing. Vocabulario summarizes the active vocabulary in each lesson. There are a variety of different writing genres, such as description, opinion, and comparison. They all develop presentational communication skills. Each escribir section includes a graphic organizer to help students to infuse and shape their writing. For vocabulario, all the lesson's active vocabulary is grouped in easy-to-study thematic lists and tied to the lesson section in which it was presented. Here you will see a full library of all the documentaries. Take a moment to review them. Perspectivas is unique because it has a cultural focus integrated throughout the entire lesson with an emphasis on products and practices that relate to the cultural perspectives of specific Spanish-speaking countries.